Hey there now, it's Sylla here. I'm doing a little video to help you guys understand my lifelong work, this manual here that many of you already have and some don't, but I'm going to convince you why you need it. And for those that do have it, I want to make sure you know how to use it, so otherwise it doesn't just sit on your shelf. And so I did not start out to write this book. This book is actually 2 books, it's 2 volumes. I started out making a wall chart. So I had my first computer and my husband set me up and I began typing up things that I had written out, and I created a wall chart, 2 double-sided wall charts with all of these categories in them, and then I started typing them up. And someone said, wait, you need to make this a book. And I went, oh, I guess I should. And then they said, oh, but you also need, what is aromatherapy and what, and the safety and all the, Anyway, long story short, 2.5 years later, I ended up with this book that I'm going to go through and show briefly. It's 3 parts. The first part is how to use this manual. This is the very first chapter. You got to read that. It's good. You're going to love it. I feel like Trump. Okay, we go into delivery methods, which tells you how to make a massage blend or a room spray, because you need to know this if you're going to be using oils. Then we have our vegetal oils and additives. These are the beautiful fatty vegetal oils that we use as carriers, and our additives like evening primrose and things like that boost up our blends. And then we have our safety, all of the safety you need to know about when you start using these oils. Then we go into the chart itself, which covers 350 oils. If you don't know the botanical name, you're in trouble. Now you got to know that, because there is only one botanical name where there are many common names. So if you wanted to look up ylang, for example, what would you look under? Oh my God, I don't know the botanical name of that. Well, here's a common name index. If you go look up ylang under Y, you will see it is Cananga under C. And then you go look up Cananga in your chart. And from there, you could look at all the botanical name, what the common name, the plant part, is it a flower or stem, is it made into an essential oil, a CO2 extract, is it an absolute only. Then we want to know the family name and where it comes from. And some of these are from many locations. And any other notes, like mandarin is often called interchangeable with tangerine. And then we have the biochemical class. This is where I compiled all the information I could find at the time on the components of that oil. So you get a range of components. Your monoterpenes in this particular oil is up to 5%, and it lists them out. This then corresponds with one of the indexes in the back called the phytochemical index. So you could go look up one of these, B-caryophyllene. What's its biological activity? I might get an insight into what that oil is going to do by looking that up. Then we look at traditional and esoteric uses, because I want to know the chemistry, but I want to know what it's always been used for, or maybe what sign it's associated with, or crystal or gem, because I like that woo-woo stuff too. So we have all that listed, as well as its uses. Many oils don't have any traditional use associated with them, and that's noted here, along with things like anti-infectious, things like that. Then we have the body systems broken down, where each oil excels in each system, and finally the safety column. And when I did this, I had put this book all together, and then I met Martin Watt, and he allowed me to come over and visit and stay with him. And not only did he help me with this, but he took me to Stonehenge and some other cool places. But he helped me clarify that some of these oils have not had any formal testing. So when you see that, you've got to go back to the chemistry and look to see if it's safe, and decide if you want to use it on yourself, your family, or your paying clients. Because what if they have an issue and you get sued, the oil's not had any formal safety. You need to know that. So that's what the bulk of the book is. And then in the back we have everything cross-referenced in 3 indexes. The first is your clinical. So all of the anti-infectious or the anti-inflammatory, all of the oils that were listed in the previous chart will be listed in here, with some qualifications like topical use only, stuff like that. But then again, because I can be woo-woo, we have the all the magical, psychic, and other stuff documented in this chart as well. And then finally we have the phytochemical index, which prior to the index itself is a little bit of breakdown about the chemistry of essential oils and these chemical families that everybody talks about. So you get a little bit there. And then here you can look up allantoilactone, what oil is it in and what does it do. And then finally after this we have the botanical, so you can look up what families share oils. And then a glossary so you can get the words you don't know. So that is what this book is useful for, and one way to use it, it's not something you're going to sit down and read. I do advise you read the very beginning and the stuff on aromatherapy and look over the carriers and the additives. But this is something when you have a question. So maybe you have a new oil that has come on the market, or a new oil for you. And you can go all over the web and look all over for it. Or you can go right here because everything is going to be in here. So you can look at, I'm just going to find one for example, the Eucalyptus smithy. What's its difference? What's the difference in that and Eucalyptus globulus? Is it safer? Or the Western Australian sandalwood. You know, here's some chemical components. We don't know because that oil's not had any test. All the new oils have no formal safety testing. They may appear safe, which means we could probably use them okay. But you, again, need to know that, especially if you're formulating products for sale or you're applying to people in a topical treatment which you get paid for. People love to sue. So we don't want you to get hurt. So that's what these 2 volumes are about. I've heard a few things because these were written in the 90s, the mid-90s, and it covers 350 of the most common oils, and even some that weren't so common that now are at the time. Now, there's new oils coming around all the time, especially new companies sometimes will find a novel oil and promote it as the greatest thing since sliced bread. But those are not in here, and because they've not been in use long enough. So these do cover the oils that have been in use. And as far as anything being outdated, safety information doesn't get outdated. If something is a known irritant or sensitizer in the 90s, it sure will be today too, as well as your other topical and other issues. So that sort of thing has not changed. Other than that, yeah, a few oils, and I promised a few people that I would update it someday and put the new oils in, especially the new absolutes, and then we have the CO2s. But hopefully that is on my to-do list, but it's getting longer and longer by the moment, and especially as I retire, I have more time. But somebody's filling it up with doing little videos, so we'll see when that gets done. But thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions on this. It can also be used for arm exercises. See, you can get nice arms, get your arm work in, you know. Thank you.